The scene is set in Stefan's small, quaint but cramped studio apartment above a rundown diner on the edge of the downtown or uptown district. At this point, one Mr. Hardcastle probably has noticed at least one voice message, but only one really kind of catches his attention because it's not what he was expecting.
Okay. Max will be driven down there, his usual SUV driven by Drescher, and they will park. They will pay for parking. I'm sure there's parking meters. And then Max and Drescher will head up. Max will be dressed in his very nice outfit that he normally wears. And Drescher looking very much like the professional bodyguard. And they walk up and they make some idle conversation about what this meeting's about in hushed tones. And then when he gets to the door, as indicated in the voicemail,
the rather firm knock on the extremely heavy metal door is heard inside. A few moments later, one moment, and a little bit after that, the door opens. Oh, Mr. Hardcastle, glad to see as you have arrived. Please, enter.
thank you.
Um,
Believe you remember Mr. Drescher from the club?
Come on in.
Yes.
I mean, if he is trusted by you, I can trust him.
With my life.
The apartment, well, the outside and the inside of the apartment is, a concrete wall, concrete ceiling, which does not match the building below. Worn brick building, kind of run down, old, like mom and pop style diner. Surprised that in any point of that at any area of the uptown district, it's actually still in business. This apartment has about 5 windows, 3 on one side, 2 on the other, and all of them are covered over seamlessly with heavy black canvas.
Good solid light proofing.
Yeah. The furnishings are very sparse. Mostly it looks like a work studio. There are a couple workbenches, various tools. Some kind of look out of place. As you know that he is a sculptor, you wouldn't expect somebody to use something like that. There are 2 chairs around a coffee table sitting on top of a worn but still in decent shape, like a study carpet, like a little rollout carpet you'd find in a study or something. That's the best lit area, or that's the dimmest lit area of the studio.
And out of character, how do you pronounce your last name?
Braun Fiedler.
I have to make a note.
The one thing that you would notice immediately is there is a kitchenette area, But it looks like his stove has not been used in some time, and he does not own a refrigerator. So presumably, he probably hunts.
Well, Max will take that all in, and he'll find a couch or love seat or whatever you got for sitting, and he will sit. And Max or Drescher will just stand by the door, in his usual spot anyway, where he can keep a nice eye out on everything. And Max will take a seat.
Yeah, Stefan points to one of the chairs opposite where he takes a seat. I do apologize that I do not have refreshments for you. I was I was thinking about mildly, very minorly using my talents to solve an issue of cash flow before it becomes a matter of the streets. And I know that from what I have gathered, you are a man who enjoys an interesting a variety of different decorations. Possibly even a patron of the arts, if the mood struck you.
Where do your talents lie?
Well, primarily in stone sculpting. I've some because it is important to study the human body for proportion. I do have some background in medical knowledge. Not much.
Well, if you're needing cash resources, I can arrange that. What I would like very much is for you to sculpt, in whichever medium you desire, a chess set.
Stefan gets up. You see him kind of looking around. His eyes are kind of wandering, as if he's trying to remember. Then he goes over to a one of his few workbenches, and he picks something up. You don't see what it is immediately. This is something I produced recently. It's only one piece, but take a look. And he hands you the piece. It's approximately the size of a king or queen. And although it's not finished, the facial features are they're gruff, commanding. It looks as though it's kind of an outdoorsy type with a big beard. The most finished are around the eyes. The eyes seem to peer at you as if commanding.
Max looks it over. Is this a prototype or is this the finished part?
That I am still working on.
Okay, prototype then. Well, this looks about the right size. But the pieces I would like to be based on colonial British infantry if possible. That would be for a gift. That's why.
It is interesting that I have read you so well, Mr. Hardcastle. I was thinking something of a militaristic nature. I
Yeah,
was thinking more modern.
and if it was for me, I would agree. But this is a gift, and the gift should suit the should suit the receiver more than the giver. And so what I was thinking is perhaps something along the lines of the Napoleonic Wars of Conquest. During the Duke of Wellington would be the king piece, and then Blucher, and so on and so forth down the line. For the various pieces, something based on that era.
Okay. Now, out of game. That's English, French.
English and Prussian versus which the English Duke of Wellington, and then you have General Blucher, who was the Prussian commander, and they crushed the French Napoleonic armies.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I can do that. I am well versed in history enough to put something pleasing together. But my proposal is, and I will make it better than it would be for just anybody else. A personal, non-client, or for a gift is always better than something I would sell to just anyone. But I have an interesting business proposal. I am actually looking for a patron of sorts. Somebody who can help me with funding. It would be repaid. Whether or not there would be interest involved is up for negotiation.
You have someone in mind?
Not particularly. My knowledge of business is limited. Only, I guess, equivalent to first-year college student, if that.
You can balance a checkbook, but that's about it.
Very well. This is how I have gotten by, is by extremely carefully balancing my checkbook and not revealing my true financial status, which is why I hang out in areas as I do.
If managing money is your number one concern, I can certainly have that. I can certainly arrange for that. But as far as a patron of the arts go, I'm not exactly flush with wealth at this moment, so it's not like I could just fork over money. I wish I could, but I got to be honest here. I'm not dripping with money.
If you could keep an eye out for a potential patron or investor, this would be appreciated. You can, of course, contact me most of the time. I do carry a cheap but sufficient mobile telephone.
I have the number from the voicemail you left me earlier, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. That is, you do actually see a telephone on a small table next to his chair. Very old, looks like it's probably damn near an antique, but functional.
Old solid-state rotary phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was cheap.
You can't break those things.
No, you can't. You could try smashing it against the wall, and it's like, no. Primarily, I am looking for this because I made a similar deal already. The piece that I showed you is the beginning of a piece for one. Oh, what was his name? He looks through a inner breast pocket. Mr. Marsh of a Marsh shipping company I met with at the Plimpton a few nights ago. He mentions that he is a conversation. Is environmentally minded, conservationist type, can provide various stone and wooden materials. So I made a preliminary business deal. What I would like to do, if I can find some kind of investor or patron, this would allow me to set up better with materials.
I'm imagining the level of detail that I was asking for would probably require something along the lines of clay or putty of some kind.
I will probably use granite with some painting.
Okay. That's a
Smooth
hard medium to
down.
work in.
Yeah. Lot of polishing, lot of use of a blanket and sandpaper. The current project I have will take me about a month, so I'm expecting at least 2 months, give or take, for your piece to be ready.
Very well.
About a month per custom piece. It does take some time, and granite is not an easy material to work in, but it is what I'm going to have.
Okay. Nothing worthwhile is ever easy or quick. So now, as for your patron, you may wish to speak with the moody Toreador poet we mutually met at the Emerald Scorpion that one night. Her name is Cherie Blanc, or Blanc.
I was thinking about Miss Blanc, or possibly somebody that she knew. I am actually going to try to set up a meeting with her regarding this. I figure having at least 2 heads working on something is better than one.
Very good, very good. So you estimate a 2 months out for the chessboard?
2 months, yes, yeah.
With that, I imagine you're going to have a lot of leftover scrap from your material. You're going to have leftover pieces and whatnot that you can't use.
From small pieces like that, the board will be wood inset with different color stone tiles, light side, dark side tiles. For your board and the one I'm working on, probably dark and light wood set into the board.
Well, I would, in addition to the chessboard, I would also like some Go pieces too, made from scrap.
Most of what I'm going to have will be pebbles, unworkable pebbles.
Yeah. Well, a Go piece could be about the size of a dime. Any bigger than that, and you're kind of wasting it. So, Go pieces are very small, about the size of a dime, and should be light and dark. But you would already have that from the chess set anyway. There
How
should be
many pieces?
about 20 of each.
40 pieces, about the same.
Yeah, I figured that would be just leftover pieces could cover the Go as well, and put it in like a nice crushed velvet bag or something.
I think yes. I think maybe I can do that. It's a simple matter of putting it into a small rock tumbler and using a blanket on them.
Yeah. In fact, if they're not all uniform, that would even I would think add a bit more dignity to it.
I can definitely make some. I can polish the natural shape and contour.
Yeah, and with the ununiform pieces, normally in Go, all the pieces have to look the same, but that's purely a cosmetic thing. It has nothing to do with the rules. So, as long as the pieces are around the size of a dime, that's perfectly accessible.
And each of these small pieces, one color on both sides?
Yeah, they're the same color all the way through. It's not the flip game. Most people most Westerners, such as myself a while back, confuse Go with what's called reversey. Reversey is that's the one where you flip them. And we know it over here as Othello. Milton Bradley, a long time ago, created a game called Othello, which had black pieces and white pieces.
Oh yeah.
And that's actually called reversey, which is strange because in Shakespeare's Othello there was only one black guy, and everybody else was white. That's bizarre why they called it that, but
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can. No, this will be no problem.
Now the question I have for you, sir, is: do you want money or do you want boon?
Well, let it. I think it is important to say that materials have never been bought with boon. This would be handled much like a credited account. Instead of money actually coming into my hands, it would go towards, in this case, one Thomas Marsh, to Marsh Shipping Company.
So I would be paying him instead of you.
I would have to set up a meeting between the three of us so that everyone is on the same page.
Very well.
As well as pick up 10 wooden boards, which I gave him the dimensions for, and he assured me that he would give me.
Very good.
Let me see. Now, as far as any... well, is there anything you would like to make out of it? Consultancy fee?
I don't believe that's necessary at this time. You're making me the gift, not giving me money.
This would be upon receiving said investment or patronage. For consultancy of that type, I'm thinking if business is at least happening 20% of monthly sales from produced pieces.
I can live with that.
With the average price of these small pieces being anywhere between $80 and $450, depending on material used and detail put into the pieces.
Very well. I can accept that.
Stephen kind of looks at his watch and looks around a bit, puts his hand on the arms of his chair. Well, I am actually getting a bit famished at the moment, as we tend to get.
Yes, well.
But since we have an accord, I will be looking, and he puts his hand out towards you, to talking with you very soon, and as soon
You
as
have
I
my
can,
information.
I will be working on both the chess sets and the small bag of gold pieces.
Very good. Very good.
He gets up and goes over to his door.
Max
when
rises and follows.
Turns the doorknob.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of sticks a bit, and it's damn heavy. You can see now just how much muscle he has in his upper body, because it takes a lot of his strength and causes what little muscle on his 185-pound frame for a 5'10" man is like fucking bulging.
Okay.
Strength two. And he opens the door.
All right.
And grabs a coat hanging behind where it opens, because it opens inward, so he grabs a coat from behind the door.
Max and Drescher will exit the building once the door is open.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, Mr. Brownfielder. I will see you when you're able, when we meet next.
Indeed. I will be in contact. He closes and locks his door and puts his coat on and kind of bundles a bit. Got to keep up appearances.
Sure, of course.
With that, the scene comes to a close.
All right.